Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about that one thing that is stopping you from having the life that you want. If you're new to my channel and this podcast, welcome. I'm Flora, Minimalism mentor, simplification coach, and 7-time author. For over 26 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life and a business that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear the 9 types of clutter keeping you from a life that you love. What are those 9 types of clutter? They are mental, spiritual, emotional, digital, financial, daily, body, process, and everybody sing it with me, environmental clutter. My YouTube page is where I share my environmental decluttering tips, and here on the podcast, I share with you how to declutter the rest. Please subscribe and follow this feed so you get notified every time an episode is released. And again, today we're going to talk about the number one thing that is stopping you from having what you want in life, that dream life, that life that you are wildly obsessed with, that life that I talk about all the time. So I've been offering complimentary strategy sessions and coaching sessions for a little over 2 months now to all of you. And one of the things that I've noticed is that many of you who come to these calls have a very clear idea of what you want, but you're just waiting to get it. You're waiting for that right time. You're waiting for those conditions to be just right before you take action. Now, when we pick apart what the right time actually is, the majority of you have realized, oh my gosh, like the right time is right now. Like it's right now. And this is the moment to begin. So if you have not gotten a strategy session, if you've not claimed your complimentary strategy session, click the link in the show notes. You know you want to do this. Let's talk. And again, on these strategy calls, there's Zoom. I can see your face. You can see my face. And I find out where you are, where you're feeling the most stuck, what you want. And we'll figure out what that perfect time is. We'll figure out what you've been waiting for, or those blocks and those pieces of clutter that have been preventing you from moving closer to that thing that you want, aka your dream life. When you leave this call, you will have resources at the ready, at your disposal, to use as you will, to finally then take that next step forward to have that life that you want. So I want you to think about, what is something that you've been wanting in your life lately? Is it to lose weight? Is it to move homes, move to a different state, move to a different country? Is it to get a new job? Is it to quit your job or retire? Is it to downsize? Is it to write a book? I've actually had several people come through these calls who want to write a book, and I've given you several resources for that. Do you want to declutter your house? Do you want to start a podcast? Do you want to start a new hobby? Like, what is the one thing that you've been waiting for? I remember several years ago, for many, many years ago, I wanted to start a podcast, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and the reason why I waited was because I didn't know how to start one. And just the idea of starting one felt hard. It felt like, oh, there's probably going to be too many missing pieces. And that was just this bullshit story that I was telling myself. And so finally, after having Start Podcast on my meeting agenda for literally more months than I can count, and I just kept moving it off the agenda to the next month or to the next week, my assistant said to me, she's like, Flora, what are you waiting for? So I started one, and I was literally flabbergasted at how quickly everything came together. And this was the same thing for lifting weights or moving to another country or building a desk or learning how to drive. Like literally all of these things start with, first and foremost, figuring out what you want, and then second, finding out how to do it. That's it. And I know that sounds so simplistic and, idealistic and whatever, but essentially that's exactly what it is. Like, I want to do this. So one is figuring out what you want. And I have a podcast episode previously to this a couple weeks ago about how to figure out what you want. And I give you a step-by-step detail on how to do it. And then once you figure out what you want, then find the resources and opportunities to make that happen. And if you are feeling stuck on like, what do I want? I'm not really sure. I know that I want something different. I have an idea of what I want. I'm here to help. To help you with this, click the link in the show notes. I've opened up spots on my calendar for complimentary strategy and coaching sessions to help you sift through your wants, your not wants not right now, what you're waiting for, what you have chosen to take action on, and what you've actually done in the past to prove that you can do this. Yes, you can. Jump on a call with me. This is 75 minutes of a complimentary session. I work with you one-on-one. This is my jam. Like this, those of you who have been following me for any amount of time, you know that I geek out with this stuff. I love this. That's why I'm offering these complimentary coaching and strategy sessions. I want to find out from you where you are, where you want to be, and what those perfect conditions are that you tell me that you've been telling everybody else what you want. Click the link in the show notes. Let's talk. Also, let's continue this conversation. If you're watching this on YouTube, I invite you to share your experiences with something that you were waiting for the right conditions for in the past, and you finally just jumped at the chance and you're just like, screw it, I'm going to do it. Share with us what that was like for you. And I want you to share this so that you can inspire those of you who read the comments and also share what your experience was as well. If you're listening to this on any podcast streaming service, please email me, flora@florasage.com, and I will read your emails and your comments. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share with your friends, and leave a review. Your support helps this podcast reach more people looking to declutter their lives and align into a life they are wildly obsessed with. I hope this serves you today, and I will see you in the next episode. Mwah.